Today, object pronouns. Let's crack on. In Spanish, we have direct and indirect object pronouns. But hold on, time out. What exactly is an object pronoun? Let's look at an example. If I say I see Maria, I can say I see Maria or I see her. That her is the object pronoun. It replaces the noun to avoid repetition. So, I was saying in Spanish we have two types of direct and indirect object pronouns. The direct object is the person or thing that receives the action of the verb directly. So, the direct pronouns in Spanish are me, te, for third person, le, lo, la. We will see that in detail later. Nos, os, or in plural, les, los, las. And the indirect object answers to whom or for whom the action is done. The pronouns are me, te, le, nos, os, les. Notice that for him or her is just le and for them is les. But again, we will see this later. Let's start with the direct object pronouns. The position of these object pronouns first. If there's one verb, the pronoun goes before the verb. I agree, it feels weird at first. Let's see the examples. To say you hear them, you need to place it before the verb, that them. So, tú les oyes, or Carmen read it, Carmen lo lee, or I see you, yo te veo. Weird, I know. And if there are two verbs, like with reflexives, you can put it either before the first verb or attached to the infinitive after the two verbs. For example, if we want to say you have to do it, you can say lo tienes que hacer o tienes que hacerlo. And I am doing it. Lo estoy haciendo o estoy haciéndolo. Any, it's okay. Let's see more examples in more detail. For example, he helps me. It would be me ayuda or él me ayuda. He helps you. Él te ayuda. He helps him or her. Le, depending, this is the neutral. Lo, la ayuda. Or he helps us. Nos ayuda. Or he helps you, plural, you all. Os ayuda. Or he helps them. Les ayuda o los ayuda o las ayuda. However, if we have two verbs like he can help me, you can say me puede ayudar o puede ayudarme. He can help you, te puede ayudar o puede ayudarte. He can help him or help her, es le puede ayudar o la puede ayudar o puede ayudarle o puede ayudarla. It depends. He can help us is nos puede ayudar o puede ayudarnos. He can help you all, plural. Os puede ayudar o puede ayudaros. O he can help them. Les puede ayudar o los puede ayudar o las puede ayudar o puede ayudarles. I know, all together looks hard, but give me 5 more minutes. Before more example, let's break down the third person forms, lo, la, and le. When replacing a person first. Okay, when replacing a person, we can use lo or le for masculine. For example, they are calling him. You can say lo están llamando or le están llamando. And for feminine, we use la or le. Juan sees them when it's a feminine group. You can say Juan las ve or Juan les ve. We always have the neutral option le, but in real Spanish people tend to use la more consistently for females to avoid confusion. So I recommend you to follow that pattern. Okay, when replacing a thing, we never use le. Good news, things get easier. So, we use only lo for masculine and la for feminine. For example, Elena says the car is masculine. So to say Elena sells it, it would be Elena lo vende. Or if we are speaking about milk, Mario drinks milk in the morning, milk is la leche, okay? So it would be Mario la toma por las mañanas. When replacing a phrase, same rule, only lo for masculine or la for feminine or in plural. For example, if we are speaking or we are saying that the children read a lot of books, the children read them. So we need to translate it as los niños los leen because we are referring to books, los libros. Or Maria doesn't have a backpack to lend me. Maria doesn't have it. Backpack is la mochila, which is feminine. We will be Maria no la tiene because we are referring to a feminine singular thing. So let's see more examples. They want it. Ellos lo quieren as long as this it is masculine. Or I know them. Yo les conozco. Let's say use the neutral form because we don't know if we are speaking about male or female. You always have that option. Or he knows me. Él me conoce. Or you love me. Tú me amas. They drink kids. Feminine, for example, la leche. So it would be ellos la beben. He buys them. Él las compra, feminine. They see her. Ellos la ven. Or I have it. Counting that is masculine. Yo lo tengo. Or you want it. Vosotros lo queréis. Or I love you. Yo te amo. Okay, let's see more examples with two verbs. They want to see it. You can say ellos lo quieren ver o quieren verlo. I need to know them. Yo les necesito conocer, counting that it's masculine or feminine, or necesito conocerles for the reason we are using the neutral form. He wants to know me. Me quiere conocer o quiere conocerme. You need to love her. La necesitas amar o necesitas amarla. They want to try it. Lo quieren intentar o quieren intentarlo before or after the verb, the two verbs. Or he can see them, feminine. Las puede ver o puede verlas. I'm watching them. Les estoy mirando o estoy mirándoles. We have to buy it. Lo tenemos que comprar o tenemos que comprarlo. She tries to understand you. Everybody tries to understand me. So, intenta entender o intenta entenderte. Okay, too much information. So, if two verb structures still confuse you, just stick to one of the options for now. But remember, in Spanish, both are perfectly correct and used all the time. To finish with the direct object pronoun part, we need to speak about what happens when the object pronoun comes after a preposition. Well, in this case, instead, what? What's a preposition again? Okay, a preposition is a small word like about, with, for, from, etc. And they can show relationships with location, time, or direction. Okay, alright, let's continue. Be careful with this because we won't use the regular object pronouns like in English after a preposition. Spanish switches to subject forms with two exceptions. Me becomes me and you becomes ti. So it would be me, ti, él o ella, nosotros, vosotros, ellos. For example, I'm thinking about her. It would be estoy pensando sobre ella, no sobre la. está haciéndolo por ellos. They are doing it for them. O ¿por qué no vienes con nosotros? Why are you not coming with us? It's like with we. O este paquete es para ti. This is a parcel for you. And we have an exception of the exception with con, with. They change to conmigo, contigo, for with me and with you. And just one last thing. Where is it? Like in I'm on it. Well, surprise to surprise. Ta-da! We do have it as a pronoun. Ello. Like in estoy pensando en ello. I'm on it. Estoy en ello. Or she's thinking about it. Está pensando sobre ello. Or you can't get away with it. No te puedes librar de ello. But remember, Spanish does not use it as a subject. Like it's raining or it depends. Those simply don't translate. So when it's an object pronoun, it's ello, but not as a subject. Let's summarize all this before moving on to the indirect object pronoun. So when we have just one verb, we need to place it before the verb. La ayudo con sus deberes, o no lo ves, don't you see it? When we have two verbs, you can place it before the two verbs or after the two verbs. So like intento ayudarte o te intento ayudar. And remember that with prepositions, we use the normal subject. Siempre estás pensando en ella, about her, about she. O no quiero ir con vosotros. I don't want to go with you all. Now, indirect object pronoun. They are used to indicate to whom or for whom something is done. Notice that with these verbs, you don't choose between la or lo. It's always le or les in plural. There are verbs that trigger these indirect object pronouns. For example, comprar, traer, dar, escribir, explicar. For example, me compré un coche. I bought a car for myself. O te traigo flores. O siempre nos da regalos. Os he enviado un paquete. I have sent you a parcel. O les escribe cartas cada mes. A very common mistake involves the verb decir, to say or to tell. In English, we say I told her, but in Spanish it's wrong to say la dije. It must be le dije la verdad, or les dije la verdad. This is a very common mistake in Spain as well. So let's go now to learn about the position of these pronouns. So this won't be a surprise. So if we have just one verb, we need to place the indirect object pronoun before the verb. For example, I buy a car for me, me compro un coche, or I bring you flowers, te traigo flores, or you write letters, les escribes cartas. And if we have two verbs, again, we can choose between placing it before the two verbs or after the two verbs. For example, I am buying something for me. Me estoy comprando o estoy comprándome. Or you can bring them. Le puedes traer o puedes traerle. So there's no surprise here. What happens when you have both a direct and an indirect pronoun? Well, in that case, the indirect goes first, followed by the direct. And the position? As we have just one verb before. For example, do you give it to me? Would be me lo das? And when you have two verbs, both pronouns appear before or after the two verbs, but the order stays the same. For example, can you give it to me? You can say, ¿me lo puedes dar? O ¿puedes dármelo? Nice, right? Okay, let's revise one last thing. But there is a final twist. When you have le or les before la, las, los, les or las, this le or les becomes se. Let's see some examples. So to say I give it to her, it would be le lo doy, or I give it to them, le lo doy as well. Les lo doy is hard, it's weird. So she won't tell it to him, no le lo dirá, or I will send it to her, le lo mandaré. So it becomes se because this happens not only because it sounds weird, but because lelo or lela means stupid. So we don't want that. So it would become like se lo doy or se lo doy, absolutely, or no se lo da, or se lo mandaré. This can sound a bit vague, so we often add a clarification like a él o a ella o a ellos afterwards. A Ana, a mis hermanos, se lo doy, no se lo dirá a Pedro, o se lo mandaré a Mónica. Okay, that's enough grammar for today. We are all set. If your brain feels full right now, don't worry, that just means the object pronouns have officially moved in. Thanks for watching. If this helped, click like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Gracias, hasta luego.